Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Evan and this is Cents or Cents. And today we're going to talk about the Chase Sapphire Reserve changes, the new earnings rates, more statement credits for a higher annual fee. This is from the Points Guy. And I personally have the Chase Sapphire Reserve. I've had it for quite some time. And I've really not looked over these changes a whole lot, but I wanted to give you my initial impressions on them based on being a card holder for many years and having a lot of benefits that I've seen through the card in that time. One of the biggest underrated things that is going to stay are the travel protections. You know, it provides evacuation services, medical services, and it's considered to be kind of one of the platinum cards for travel insurance as well. I've actually had to use the travel insurance on a trip last year, actually, and it pretty much paid me back everything that I had to get a refund for that wasn't able to be just, canceled and be put back on the card. So these are one of the big benefits that, some people pay several $100s a year for the travel insurance. Those are still staying the same. So I just wanted to highlight that first, but let's jump into this section that, first of all, the annual fee is going up to $795 from $550. And a lot of people think, oh man, it's going to be the most expensive card in my wallet, the most expensive card out there. And yes, while it is going to be very pricey, it kind of shocked me at first how much they went up in price. But then I started looking at all of the different changes, and some of the earnings rates are going to actually go down. So let's talk about that for a second here. Ultimately, they said that down here, the earnings rate adjustment. So you can see here that 10 points per dollar is now going to be gone out of the Chase portal for hotels and rental cars, and then flights are actually going to be going up from 5 points per dollar to 8 points per dollar in the portal. I don't typically use the portals unless I'm redeeming Chase points every once in a while for like a domestic flight, just because I get better value by transferring the points out to the respective airlines. But here's one of the big changes right here. Flights booked directly with airlines now are 4 points per dollar instead of 3 points per dollar. That will actually benefit me. Even if I'm using, some points for one way to get out to where I'm going and I have to pay cash to get back, that will benefit me and still provide those travel protections that I was talking about. This is pretty much my exclusive card for traveling for the travel protections. If you put at least the round trip flight on it, and as much of the other expenses for the trip on there as you possibly can, it will pretty much cover your entire trip in the case that you have an emergency or you have to cancel it or you have an issue when you're on the trip itself. Hotels booked directly with the actual hotel. This will benefit me greatly as well. So I have a Hyatt card as well. So when I go to Hyatt's, I use the Hyatt card. But for pretty much every other airline, any other hotel except for Hilton's, so if it's IHG or, Marriott, or any other variations of smaller chains, I will use this card now because I'm getting 4 points per dollar on the card as opposed to 3. Now, here's the big detraction right here. You can see that all the travel, including cruises, vacation rentals, and transit are going to go from 3 points down to 1 point per dollar. I don't really use public transit in my area. I don't really pay for a lot of parking each year, just limited, maybe $50 worth a year, occasionally here or there, every once in a while, a little bit more. And I no longer use vacation rentals, and I've talked about that in previous videos that I've posted. If you want to go back and check on those videos with regards to why I don't use Airbnb or VRBO anymore. I've had so many issues with them. So this isn't going to affect me. I could see people taking cruises. It would affect them greatly. I could also see people that are, staying at VRBOs or Airbnbs. This can definitely affect you greatly on the earnings. So that could be a detraction for some. For me, it's not really a big deal. It says the card will continue to earn 3 points per dollar spent on dining purchases and 5 points per dollar spent on eligible Lyft rides, 10 points per dollar on eligible Peloton purchases. So these are far more important to me as far as the dining purchases. I also have a Citi Strata card that I can get 3 points per dollar, and I also have a PayPal debit card that I can get 5% on dining. So I have multiple different options. The 5 points per dollar spent on eligible Lyft, that is beneficial because as you'll see in the credits below, one of the credits is $10 per month that the Reserve card gives you as a lift credit, and then you also get 5 points per dollar on top of that. So that actually is a good benefit that I use. I pretty much take at least one Lyft or one Uber per month. And so I'm able to get that $10 per month. So that's, $120 in value plus 5 points per dollar on the eligible Lyft rides. So going down here, this is where it gets really interesting. The updated Chase Sapphire Reserve adds a long list of statement credits. $500 annual statement credit for the Edit, Chase's curated collection of luxury hotels, split into two $250 biannual credits. So I don't know much about the Edit, but I'm sure it's similar to the Amex Platinum's hotel, high-end hotel collections. And if you're getting a $250 biannual credit, I could see this being interesting for staycations, little quick getaways for the family during the summer, maybe over like Christmas vacation, a little quick ski trip, something like that. This might become valuable. I'm not going to value this at a full $500. I don't think I'll utilize it 2 times a year, but I might use it 1 time a year, and so I'll value this at $250. The $300 annual statement credit for StubHub or a Viagogo purchase of concert and event tickets. I probably won't use this, but my wife will definitely use this. She goes to at least 2 or 3 concerts a year. So I'm going to value this at full $300 because she has used StubHub and other ticket companies in the past, and she'll definitely use this for several concerts. So, that's worth about $300 to me. So now we're up to $550 in value in just the first two items. $300 annual and monthly DoorDash promotions, including a $5 restaurant promo and 2 $10 promos on everyday essentials each month. I've told you guys in previous videos, I've had issues with these credits, but they seem to be working now. I usually, on average, use about half these credits. I don't use both two $10 credits a month. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't use them at all. I rarely use the $5 restaurant promo. So I'm going to value this at about half the value, so $150. So, we're up to, let's see, $250, $300, and $150. That's $400, $700 already. And the $300 annual dining credit and primetime reservations at Sapphire Reserve exclusive tables, which you can book through OpenTable, $150 biannual credits. So I will probably use both of these very easily. My wife and I use OpenTable regularly in Dallas. There's lots of good options. We do enjoy going to an occasional really nice dinner, and there are lots of different good options on OpenTable. So we will definitely use this. I will get the full $300. So that's now $1,000 in value. $250 annual statement credit for Apple TV and Apple Music subscriptions. I mean, I've used Apple TV Plus in the past when I've gotten like a new phone and they've offered me free Apple TV. I do like the service, but I wouldn't pay anything for it. So I'm not going to value this at any, value at that I would actually spend out of pocket. $120 in annual statement credits towards Peloton membership. I don't have a Peloton. I don't want one. I don't need to have one, so I value that at $0. $120 of a complimentary DoorDash Dash Pass membership. That's very beneficial to me. I use that regularly, so I'll value that at $120. So now I'm up to $1,120. $120 in annual Lyft in-app credits. Like I said, I'll use that. So now I'm up above $1,200 in value. And then the card will maintain its flexible $300 travel credit automatically applied to all purchases made in travel categories. So now you can see that I'm up to $1,200 with all these credits right here, and then another $300. That's $1,500 in value. So this increase to $795 actually seems like it's going to be very beneficial to me. They said there's up to $2,700 in annual value for card holders. I can see that. I'm not going to use it all. And then you get some value benefits here, which are unlocked after $75,000 in spend in a calendar year. I don't think that I'll ever hit these, to be honest with you. I don't spend $75,000 on this card a year. It would be hard pressed to do so unless I went on some major vacation that was, say $20,000 or something like that. And even then, I would be hard pressed to get to the $75,000 mark. However, Unlocking IHG 1 rewards Diamond Elite status, gives you 60% bonus on IHG, reward night discounts, rollover nights. It's a nice free perk. It's definitely their highest category of awards. I'm a Hyatt Explorers right now. I'm going to be a Globalist before the end of the year. I'm also a Hilton Diamond. So this doesn't really benefit me too much, but if I were to spend the $75,000, I could see how it might be beneficial. Southwest Airlines A-list status. Obviously I live in Dallas. Their hub, Southwest hub, is about 3 miles away from my house. I don't fly them that much because I don't do a lot of domestic flights. And especially now that they got rid of the free baggage, that's one of the main reasons I would have used them for like positioning flights or getting somewhere else. And then a $500 Southwest Airlines credit when booked through Chase Travel. I mean, if I got $75,000, I feel like I would be spending money on this card that would be getting me 1 times instead of 3 times back. And so all of this right here would be needed to offset that additional spend to get instead of using the other card. So $250 credit to the shops at Chase. Online shopping for card members includes retailers such as Sony, Therapy. I don't have any clue about this. I've never looked into this. I'd value that at 0 even if I got this card and spent $75,000. And then the final thing that I want to talk about here is the Chase Sapphire Reserve will have new points accelerator called Points Boost. Points Boost offers will provide eligible card members with redemption values of up to 2 cents per point when booking with Chase points through the Chase portal. This will apply to select hotels, including bookings made through the Edit and airlines. So this is going to be a replacement of the 50% bonus on points right now that current Sapphire Reserve card members have. So you can go right now and you can book. I used this a couple times for domestic airline usage, where getting 50% boost on your points sometimes was beneficial enough to use it for, say, like a Southwest Airlines flight or an American flight somewhere that you had to pay cash for. Now they're saying it's going to be selected. Chase is going to select certain things that have 2 cents per point value. So on those things, there'll be a better scenario. But later in 2027, as current card holders, it says here October 26th, 2027, when current card holders will no longer be able to use the 50% bonus on their points. And then it gets into a bunch of additional things here, like any points earned after October 26, 2025, you will not be able to use for the 50% bonus on those Chase Portal redemptions. You'll still have access to the points boost. You can choose which is better, the 1.5 cents a piece or 2 cents a piece through the points boost. But the points earned after October 26 will no longer be eligible for the 50% boost. You'll have to either get the points boost at 2 cents a piece for the select items, or it will just be 1 cent per point on direct portal redemptions. So I consider that to be kind of a downfall. I don't use that 50% boost that often right now. So I'm not, I wouldn't say that this is a huge downfall for me, but I feel like a lot of people use that option and they're no longer going to be able to use that. So my last thought on this is that I like the new upgrade. I won't mind paying the extra fee. We can also get access to global entry credits once every 4 years. That's an additional value every 4 years. So all of these things add up. I think I'm going to get somewhere between, say, $1,500 and $2,000 worth of value in the first year of this card. So am I happy to be able to pay $795 for it? I absolutely am. I hope you guys found this useful. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll bring you another update when I get more information on this, about this particular card, since this was just released this morning. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, I'll say thank you again. Bye.